I'm not terribly worried at this point. They could have another Ember Cleave. Okay, so another Ember Cleave, mutate onto this one. Now it's a flying 7, or it'll be an 8/8. Sweet. Dude, I love this deck so much. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and the fun thing we're trying to do today is we're playing Vivien Tribal with Mutate crazy awesomeness here. So I wanted to play out the Vivien deck. So we have 2 copies of Vivien Champion of the Wilds, cast creature spells at instant speed, or sorry, as though they had flash. It doesn't actually give them flash though, so it doesn't work with the flash stuff, just FYI. But then we also have Vivien Arcbow Ranger, which works really great, gets 2 counters onto things, that gets trample. You guys have seen this one. And then we get the new Vivien, which I love the artwork on this. It's just beautiful, especially with the moving around and whatnot. Really pretty. Anyway, you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Sweet. Awesome, awesome static effect. Then you get to +1, create a 3/3 green beast creature token, which I apparently am the beast, by the way, right now. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want my setup to be, and so I'm getting things set up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see. I'll probably have myself here during the deck list. Typically, you won't have tokens right here, and then I'll have myself over during the gameplay. Anyway, we'll see what happens. All right, so take up a 3/3 green beast creature token. Put your choice of a vigilance counter, a reach counter, or a trample counter onto that beast, which just being able to create a 3/3 every turn, we've seen with Oko is really powerful. It doesn't have the ability to remove stuff as well, but still really, really busted. Then we can -2. Whenever you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost, put it onto the battlefield. So this just works really well with Mutate. Mutate is a casting cost, and so all the casting of creatures for Mutate costs still can happen at instant speed, still can do it from the top of the library, and there's just a lot of really powerful and awesome things we can do. Our main hits that we like, the biggest sleeper I had with Mutate in the last deck that I did with this, which I did a Teamer Mutate version. This time I'm bringing in the Sultai, so we can get our Space Godzilla, be able to cast Brokos from the graveyard. But the main card that I feel like I slept on was Migratory Greatheart. This card is busted. I really, really like it, especially my favorite thing is to play like a Roller Grazer, get out 3 lands on turn 3, turn this into a 3/4 and swing in, you know. And we get another land out of the process. Or Gilded Goose, turn 3, have a flying 3/4 flyer. We don't get to swing in because you have to tap the Gilded Goose. That is the one side a Royal Grazer is better at. With this deck, I decided to go a little bit lighter and a little bit more like filling out all the spaces here with our ramp. Only 2 copies of each Royal Grazer and Gilded Goose, because occasionally we're going to want the flying, occasionally we want to have the reach, and just be able to put out a land on the battlefield. 1 Zagoth Mamba, because being able to occasionally have this as an extra removal spell is really, really nice. Essence Symbiote, I think that this is probably the one card that is still kind of a sleeper. I'm not sure how many you're supposed to put. 2 is what we want right now, just because we want to have our ramp in the deck as well. And in some cases I like it better than Baby Godzilla, but being able to give all of our stuff 1 less to cast and our Mutate costs is less, it's just, it's really, really good for all of the Mutate stuff. Anyway, in the top end, we have a couple of our bats. Occasionally we get to mutate this. Sometimes it's just better to put it out as a flyer and then mutate some of our cheaper things onto it. That way we can start destroying things, killing things. We have our Auspicious Styx, which is just insanely busted. Whenever this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile X permanent cards, where X is the number of times this creature has mutated. Put those permanents on the battlefield. So every single card in our deck is a permanent. And so basically, if we mutate this 1 time, we get 1 card off the top of our deck put onto the battlefield. 2 times, 2 cards. 3 times, 3 cards. And getting this up to 3 cards, or by that time you've gotten 6 cards from your library onto the battlefield. It is just bonkers how powerful this can be. That is definitely something that happens pretty often with this deck if we run into it. So 2 copies is all I feel like I could afford, because it is a 6 or 5 drop. A 5 mana 6/6 is not bad, but for the mutate cost at 6 and everything like that, it does make it a little bit difficult. But being able to top deck this, we already have a little bit of ramp for it. We're ramping up like crazy in the early game. if we have something that has been mutated once or twice already, just being able to have a 6/6 all of a sudden on the battlefield that is also giving us a bunch of cards on when it enters is just really, really powerful. So anyway, that's pretty much the deck. Let's go ahead and get into the gameplay, see how it does for us, and yeah, wish me luck. All right, this is a little bit awkward. We don't really have green mana, but Baby Godzilla, turn 2 into Migratory Greathorn, Parcel Beast. Like, we have some good plays here with this, so we're gonna keep it. I think that's the only 2 basic lands in our deck. But with the Triome, all of a sudden we have all of our colors, and that should help us out quite a bit. Big champion. Down to 19. This is actually a decent blocker here, too. Being able to draw a card then discard is nice, but there's occasional times that we have one good card left in the hand, and this just keeps milling it. And so I'm in between on this not being a May ability, but that's asking too much, I guess. But I'll be greedy. I wish that it was. Anyway, so I still am deciding if I want to get a green screen to come up here and like go back to my old look. It wouldn't be bad. Let's see here. I feel like a Light Up the Stage is coming. They might also have some other stuff, but even if they do, okay, they have the Bone Crusher. That's fine. They spent a lot of interaction just on this. Let's go ahead and bring out Vivien. This is basically just card draw and taking attention away from our face. That's what we want here. We can only grab creatures off of that, so we will grab the Auspicious Strix. And I mean, a 5 mana 6/6 against aggro deck is not too shabby. If we can get to 5 mana, which we should be able to do, that blocks an Embercleave oftentimes, as long as it's not on something crazy massive. And so this is actually, I think we're going to be in okay shape. We have to hit some more lands, some more blue. I guess we do have our blue mana. Getting to Vivien and putting a 3/3 every turn will be great. Just taking the damage might have been better there. I was worried about them having Light Up the Stage and just kind of going in as though they might have something or not. Nature. Annex. Uh-oh. All right, let's play out Forest. Submit 0.
For the fallen.
And pass the turn. So we have instant speed, so we can flash out like a Migratory Greathorn and have a really good blocker for Annex. So let's see how they attack first. They have no clue what we might have. 4 power is hard for them to deal with. All right, swinging in at our face. I'm really worried about this being something good. All right, we're playing it out now so we can actually block. If we put it onto Annex and the Embercleave, this just dies. If we put it on the Fervent Champion, Embercleave hits for a bunch and a half. We could hopefully hit an a Gem Razor and have a shot. I want to go for the Fervent Champion. This might be the wrong play. They do have the Embercleave. I'm assuming they put it onto the Annex. I think we're actually pretty happy about that. They get a Satyr. Man, I just cracked. They get a Satyr. We're not drawing super great. We can get out the Sterix, which again kind of kills Annex if they don't play anything else, which they're gonna have to equip. So maybe that is the right play. If they have a 1-drop or hit land and hit a 2-drop and the Embercleave, then we're in so much trouble. Sorry, thinking. If we can also just keep this alive, how much damage do we take? All right, tick up. Submit 0.
All things begin
pass the turn.
And end in nature.
Auspicious Strix. I could have also tried to dig for Gem Razor there. I was debating on it. So we could have -2 Gem Razor. We still have the chance to cast it, but it only works if you mutate it. And so it was just going to be a 4-mana 4/4 for us at that point. So this was better anyway. I mean, I'd almost rather them think that they can hit the Vivien. All right, so equips to Annex. Swings in. Hopefully no Rimrock Knight. Vivs. That's fine. We could take 10. Go to 4. I don't think we can risk that. All right, so we block. We still take a ton. But being able to get free things would be super nice. Vivien, I think, will be the best play, though. Okay, down to 2.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm gone. Right. All right. Yeah, Vivien. Start creating blockers every turn. Seems decent. Let's go with Vigilance.
Beauty lies in variation.
We know that that's on the top. All right, put it tapped. Being able to casting at instant speed is nice, but I think at this point, we know they already have Embercleave. I think we just need to be digging for a Gem Razor. We don't have to keep this Vivien around to be able to use stuff, and so I'm just going to go ahead and -2. Not take that time anymore. Life gain things are also very good. All right, so we can still cast this on our turn. We just drew a card, basically, off the top 3 cards, so pretty good -2 there, I think. It would have been nice, and it also took damage from one of the satyrs, so I mean, I'm happy at the moment. Okay, Bone Crushy. So they have a choice of paying 3 to put this onto a satyr and being able to swing in at stuff. We can block 3 of the 4 damage from a satyr. They can get in and bring Vivien down to 1. And then if they have like Stomp, they can kill it. But that's an entire turn just to do that. We are going to block the one with Embercleave, unless it goes face. All right, everything of Vivs. All right, so we block. We kill the thing with Embercleave. Pretty sure that they will have Shock or Stomp here to kill Vivs, which is sad. Well, okay. All right, in that case, Essence Symbiote. Take up. Let's go ahead and just get this out here. Let's go with Vigilance again. Let's
call, and Ikoria answers.
Let's go green, black. I guess it didn't really matter. I forgot that we had this anyway. Green, Migratory Greathorn. Mutate this onto the Symbiote. Make it pretty big. Get some counters onto it. Let's grab more lands. Let's go blue. Just play out the Paradise Druid. Pay 2, gain 2, make Parcel Beast into something. I'm thinking that I thought I paid 2 there. That was weird. Okay. No, I honestly think that the paying the 2 might have been the not as good play. I don't actually want to lose this. I meant to Parcel Beast so that we can get something else big enough to block the Embereth Shield Bearer. Okay, do they have land for the equip? Robber of the Rich, that's fine. Totally fine. All right, I think that we've got this, guys. I do believe we have got it. You have got it. All right, take up. We're just gonna go for Vigilance for now. Trample will be nice later, but for now, I like to be able to kind of swing in. If they want to trade with things, like if they double block, sweet. So let's actually see. Oh, we can actually kind of get a gotcha moment here. So swing in here. if they do block, double block or something like that, we could potentially flash in this guy. Let's see, how much do we have? It takes a lot of mana is the issue. No, we're just gonna play it out. Mutate onto this. Under. Get a counter and gain 2 life. Kill Bone Crushy. Land off the top, which only puts lands from our hand, so we'll just go Paradise Druid. Pass the turn. All right. And now we're in pretty good shape. We're back up to 14 life. And this is why I think that the Essence Symbiote is one of the cards that is a little bit underrated at the moment. Oh, sorry. I just realized that my face is over the top of things. Let me try that. I'm still trying to figure out how I want this setup to be. I still kind of like it. Oh my goodness, that was weird. Sorry, guys. What am I doing? Gotta stop playing with things. Grabbing everything. I'm still debating if I just like that better. I think I do. Come on. Okay. Can no longer gain life. We can take care of that pretty easily though. Sorry, I know I should be doing this beforehand, but you guys get to see the behind the scenes. This is what happens when you move into a new place. All right. Do we want more lands? Okay, this is what we do. So we get to mutate onto this one. Over. Now it's a flying 7, or it'll be an 8/8. We get to kill something. Do we want to kill the Tybalt? Sure, why not? Is there still land on the top? All right, enters tapped.
I was bold.
I wish we could play lands off the top too. That would be so good. We'll go ahead and play out the Grazer as well. I guess I could have gone for, I mean, something with lesser convert mana cost is nothing for a Royal Grazer, so that wouldn't really work. I could have ticked down for the Auspicious Strix though. Let's go ahead and give this Vigilance again. Vigilance I think is still just powerful enough for us. So all attack. We have plenty of blockers. The life gainer they may put some priority on. I think I'm okay with that. It does gain his life. All right, swing like this. Yeah, that feels pretty good. This deck when it goes off, and the Vivians add so much to the deck, like to the mutate stuff. They synergize so well. I think the one that probably is the worst is the 4 mana one, but it works so well in different situations or matchups that it is powerful enough. I'm honestly missing the one in Historic, which we may have to bring this into Historic sometime so we can have the artifact removal and other such things. Okay, we have Reach. This one does not have Trample yet, so that's fine. Got to get rid of the Reach guy. Tybalt again.
You don't look scared. The more, the messier.
The more, the messier. Like it. All right, what you got? Ooh. I think what we're looking for is just basically anything to mutate. Everything goes at Vivian. All right. We will kill you. Kill. Do we want to block with the Paradise Druid is the question. Yeah, I mean, getting rid of things at this point is more important for us than just blocking. So we'll block with the Paradise Druid. I could have blocked here with the Mayhem, a Boreal Grazer, which might have been a bit better, just to not let them have any damage towards Vivian at all. But I'm not terribly worried at this point. They could have another Ember Cleave. Okay, so another Ember Cleave for the Shield Breaker. Should have thought about that. Vivian would have died anyway, which,
I will not.
if they're going to go all in for this, we win on the backswing.
This is why
Easily.
I don't trust people.
Gonna do damage to one of these guys. Okay. We know we're hitting land off the top, but we get a parse. Actually, wait a minute. 1, 2, a bunch and a half. All right, we just swing in. Since 8 of it is in the air, they're not gonna be able to deal with this. Yeah, there we go. Good game. Sweet. Dude, I love this deck so much. Alrighty, up against the Hobbit. Bring it on, the Hobbit. And let's see here. A lot of really expensive things. Vivian to help us dig for something, but on the mulligan, or on the draw, I mean. Yeah, this is a bit better. Keep this. Parcel Beast is great. I don't think we can drop a land here. Vivian's probably the better thing to drop, but like, we came to play Vivian. All right, it is the better thing to drop here. Everything else is pretty good. We get some ramp. We get to start milling through our deck a little bit. The one card I didn't put in here is the Octopus, which I'm kind of in between on whether or not I want it back in. This is nice with, this pretty much took up that slot, and being able to have the ramp, I think is overall better, but occasionally I am missing on being able to flash in and draw cards, and just a really cheap flash card. All right, this is looking like, I think this is Fires of Invention, but they missed on their turn, so we shall. Everything just costs cheaper to cast as well. Maybe we just want to go big. Like, we can go in Hasty right now. We could also grab some land, but we get to draw a card here. I think that I'm actually just going to play this out. Oh man. Few mana. Okay, I'm not mutating this onto it. We don't have mana for Vivian. Vivian is nice, but I think we dropped the Vivian. I'm feeling like they have Brazen Borrower or something. Potentially. This is something, if they are Fires of Invention, they're going to want to get rid of. All right, swing in. Trying to figure out what they could be or maybe wanting to do here. My seat is lower than it's supposed to be. There we go. That feels better. All right, guys, just barely moved into this new house, and so trying to figure things out. Good game. It looks like they missed the land. Little did they know, we were only on 3 lands, but we had a lot more things to play probably than they would. So we'll take it. All right, we got lots of ramp. We got big things. We got Vivians. We should have enough green mana with these. Pretty much we always want to hit green mana with Migratory Greathorn unless we need like 1 or 2 black or blue sources. We're very, very much a green deck that just kind of splashes the other colors. Lurrus, all right, this is going to be... If this is the Rakdos Sack deck, we are in lots of trouble because Mutate does not work well with sacrifice a creature every turn. It's very bad for us. If they're stuck on 1 land, okay. Got me hopes up. All right. Well. Play a Paradise Druid. Hope they don't have anything. This is the worst part, is that On the play, we can keep up with this deck, but on the draw, I don't think we can. They probably swing in with Cauldron Familiar. I would. I'm not going to block it. There's a chance that we get to ramp with this, and any ramp at all would be sweet enough to keep. Maybe. I mean, yeah, making them get rid of Cruel Celebrant's nice. Down to 13 already. My goodness. It's so powerful. Yeah, this deck, this is our biggest weakness, is that this deck doesn't quite have an answer for that. And not being able to play anything on that turn probably just means loss for us. So what would you play to be able to deal with things like this? We have the Maggoth or whatever, the 1 mana black that when it mutates you get to put -2/-2 on something. Maybe we should run like 2 copies of that just occasionally so you can hit a mutate onto it and kill a Priest of the Forgotten God or an early Cruel Celebrant. That's the only thing I can think of to be worthwhile at all. We hit so many blue sources with this as well. Play it out, they sacrifice things, they can wait until the next turn even. Attack, hit with a bunch for Fiend Artisan. So I mean, we're dead on board basically. They get, if any 1-drop comes back out, they get, so I think we would have gone down to 1 actually there without something else. Unless they have the ability to swing in with Cruel Celebrant as well. All right, next one. All right, going first, we have all the creatures that work with mutate, but no mutators. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it though. I've not kept one like this, and I'm actually intrigued. We may just keep back the Zagoth Triumph for a bit, maybe to cycle into a creature that actually does things. Holy Sphinx of Foresights, Foresight's Batman. Can't spoke right. Zagoth, not looking like it's going to do much here, but it is a 1/1. You can start swinging with it. Potentially double mutate can kill a Sphinx. 1 on top, 2 bottom. Scry 6 at the beginning of this. Might as well. Okay. Oh, that's just in case you wanted a little bit more scrying here. All right, my goodness gracious. All right, Paradox Druid. Swing win. Down to 19, past the turn. And we just have to hope for no board wipe after they kept 6. The sad part is that we got to give them information before they even scryed. Like, I think that if this scryed at the beginning of the game, it would be much better than scrying at the beginning of their turn. It is kind of busted actually being there. How much do we overcommit to this board? All right, Essence Symbiotes. I think I'm going to swing with the rest. Paradise Root is nice, but this can give us a bit more power if we do find a mutate creature. Okay, Shocks. Deafening Clarion. It's deafeningly annoying. Paradise Druid. I'm still debating if I want to just cycle this. I think I do. We'll play that past the turn. We can just play this out next turn. Fires of Invention. Sphinx, probably. Another Deafening Clarion. Yay. The Migrator Great Horn. So we're going to tap, pass the turn. Alright guys, this one's not looking great. Narset, yeah. If we had hit a Gem Razor any time here, I mean, they had the Deafening Clarions. They had 2 Deafening Clarions, which just happens to be very, very powerful against us. This deck also is just a little bit bonkers once it actually gets up to everything it needs. Our goal typically is to try to not let them go. All right, we got to cycle and we drew into more lands. Gilded Goose, basically a land as well. So, yay. All right, we're gonna stick around for one more draw. They got the 5 mana. Now they get to do big, more busted things. They're even running the Kenrith. I've seen some version of this not running Kenrith, and I feel like that's it's definitely better to run it. Yeah, draw Karuga, draw 1,000,000. Get to swing in for 1,000,000 with Kenrith. They still haven't even discarded here or anything else. Only to cast non-creature spells. I have seen someone use that for cycling, which isn't technically a cast trigger. I know blocks. We're not dead, but we're basically dead. I just want to see what we draw, just because I want there to not be a land.
Let thoughts flow like river rapids.
They're just drawing cards just to draw cards. That's just rude. Yeah, resolve. That's cool. Just getting the rubbins in. The rubbins. Alright, it was another land, but this one we can at least cycle. Yay! Yeah, okay, we're done here. We are done here. Up against Sleen. Bring it on, Sleen. And yeah, we'll go ahead and keep this. Paradise Druid turn 2. Untap. Castle gets to come in untapped with Zagoth. And I really like the Vivian. Vivian with Mutate I think is really fun because you have a lot more options. Being able to draw the cards is nice too. The hard part is just keeping her around in a way that she'll actually survive things. I may go for the Baby Godzilla here over Paradise Druid because this technically still ramps up these cards. And it's just a better blocker for what's happening. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. Ooh, Essence Symbiote. That's a good way to go mid-range, kind of. Godzilla. So if we play Paradise Druid, next turn we can Baby Godzilla. I think this still might be the better play. Alright, we're gonna go Essence Symbiote. Pass the turn. It gains life. It makes things more mid-rangey and big, and we want that. We could just play out the Parcel Beast, make it a 3/5. Be able to get something else. Alright, they have the Stomp though. So that's what I was worried about. Baby Godzilla in that case was a bit better. We get to at least still potentially kill Scorch Spitter. They hit for 6. We cry a little inside. And on the outside. I'm crying everywhere. Alright. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Baby Godzilla. Cross the turn. I do like that this is a decent blocker, and that is relevant at the moment. Do they have the Ember Cleave is the question. They have something else as well. Oh, these guys, they're not in combat yet. Oh, just a Torbrand. I'm gonna block the baby here, or sorry, what do we say? Just to stay alive, actually. Use the Steamkin, Anna. Yeah, I don't think we have a shot anymore. Nope, no we do not. Alright, well, we shall concede. We're dead to the Scorch Spitter. We're dead to a lot of things there. Alright, so overall, this deck is a little bit interesting. I feel like it's insanely powerful if you get to have a ramp spell out on the early game. So honestly, I'm wondering if I almost just cut these cards and just go for more Gilded Goose and Razors. And then you have like Migratory Great Horn. You get to ramp enough that you get to play big things later on. The issue is that it kept seeming like it was falling flat here and there against just different decks, and there's a lot of decks in the format that are very aggressive. And so if we don't have the ramp into big things plan, our early game stuff, as long as they had removal, and they seem to always have removal against me. I never draw the removal against other people. Just saying, that's for the record. But they drew the removal. Anyway, then it's a lot harder for the deck to go. But we got to see the power of Vivien. We got to see the power of Mutate in general. And I think it's a really fun deck, really fun stuff that you can do with this overall. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.